Okay, so as you can see in the figure, there is a wire which is represented by green color. There is a wire which is long and straight and which is carrying current in the upward direction. So the current is marked here as I. Now we are choosing one point P which is at a distance of A. Distance we have taken here as A, small a, from the suppose mid of the wire, or we are drawing one perpendicular to the wire from this point, and distance we are taking is small a. Now the end points of the wire which is infinitely long. Now these endpoints of the wire we are joining to the point P, and we need to find the magnetic field due to this current carrying wire at this point P. So distance from the wire is A, and we are choosing one current element, a small current element dl of length dl, and this dl, midpoint of this dl is joined to point P. Now this distance will be taken as vector r, or simply if you take magnitude you can take r. Angle made by this current element in the direction of the distance is taken as theta. Two angles, the upper one and the lower one, they are taken as phi 2 and phi 1, as you can see from the figure. And now we need to find the magnetic field at point B. Now according to Biot-Savart law, the current carrying conductor is having magnetic field around it, which is obtained after choosing one small current element. So here dl is the current element. Now dB equals to mu naught upon 4 pi ideal sine theta upon r square, as we have seen earlier in this video. So dB equal to mu naught upon 4 pi ideal sine theta by r square. Now here we are applying sine theta. We are finding out sine theta in this small triangle in the middle. So sine theta becomes equal to a upon r, and which is equal to cos phi. So in this triangle we are taking 90-degree angle, and we can find sine theta and cos phi both from here. So we get r equal to a upon cos phi, and tan phi equal to I by a. Here tan phi equal to I by a. So I equal to a tan phi. dl equal to a sec square phi d phi. Sorry, it's not I, it's L, the length of the wire we are taking, the small length of the wire. So dl equal to a sec square phi d phi. Now substituting for r and dl in dB, substituting the values, we get dB equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I cos phi d phi upon a. Now we are taking the limits here. Magnetic field due to the whole conductor we are obtaining by integrating within the proper limits. So here the limits are minus phi 1 to phi 2. We are taking minus phi 1 because it is below the axis. We are taking here minus phi 1 because phi 1 lies below the axis and phi 2 lies above the axis, so it will be positive. Now we are finding out the magnetic field due to the whole conductor by integrating it within the proper limits, that is from minus phi 1 to phi 2. Right now B can be obtained by the integration dB, which is equals to integration minus phi 1 to phi 2 mu naught upon 4 pi a I cos phi d phi. Okay, so it can be simplified further. The B equals to mu naught upon 4 pi a I sin phi 1 plus sin phi 2. Now we are applying one special case here, that is if the wire is infinitely long, that means it's infinitely long wire. So in that condition we will open the angles more and more, both phi 1 and phi 2. So here phi 1 which is equal to phi 2 becomes 90. So B becomes mu naught 2I upon 4 pi a, and after further simplification B equals to mu naught I upon 2 pi a. Now this can be shown with the help of the graph which is given in the green box. You can see there. Here the direction of the magnetic field will be same as the direction of dl cross r, that is the cross product of the two vectors, which can be determined by right hand screw rule. So magnetic field, as you know that cross product is always determined by two rules, that is right hand thumb rule or the Maxwell's corkscrew rule. Now this field will be perpendicular to the plane of the diagram and indicated by the cross at the point P. So wherever we are writing cross, we have to assume that the lines are entering into the paper, and when dot is put, we need to consider that the lines are exiting from the paper. So this is all about the derivation. Now just you can copy down all these notes. See children, actually we are just discussing the mathematical part of the derivation. We are not discussing about the explanation. Means I have not given here the explanation which is to be written along with all these mathematical expressions. So don't forget to write it on your own, right?